की जय, सीतामाई राम की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी देवी, गंगा यमुना माई की जय, समवेत भक्तवृंद की जय, I go to Manande. All graces and devotees, all graces and devotees, all graces and devotees, all graces to Siguru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 5, Text 43. Visvasya janma sthiti samyarmate kritva tarasya padambujam te vrajema sarve saranam yad isa smitam prayaschati apyam swapumsam. Visvasya janma sthiti samyarmate Kridvartarasya padambujam te Vrajema sarve saranam yad isa Mitam prayaschati abhayam sapumsam. Vispasya janma sthiti samyam marte Kritva tarasya padambujam te Vrajema sarve saranam yadisha Mitam prayaschati abhayam sapumsam. Devotees?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Bhishvasya janma sthiti samam arthate krita avatarasya padam bhujete vrajema sarva sharanam yad isha smritam prayachati abhayam sapumsam. Hare Krishna.
Vishwasya janma sthiti samyamarте Kritavatarasya padambujam te Vrajema sarve shranam yat isha smritam prayachyabhayam swapumsam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vishwasya janmsthitam sanyamati Hritaavatarasya padambujam te Vrajim sarve sharanam yadisha Samvrita payakshitaya bhayam Vapunsam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Vishwasya janma sthiti samyamarte Kirtvavatarasya padambujam te Vrajema sarva sharanam yadhisha Smritam priyachyatya abhayam swapumsam. Hare Krishna.
Vishwasya janmastiti samyamarte Kritavatarasya padambujam te Vrajema sarva sharanam yadisha Smritam prayachyat abhayam swapumsam.
Anybody else? Okay. So, read the synonyms. Vivasya, or the cosmic universe. Janma, creation. Sthiti, maintenance. Samyama, arte, for the dissolution also. Krita, accepted or assumed. Avatarasya, of the incarnation. Padambujam, lotus feet. Te, yo, Vrajema, let us take shelter of. Sarve, all of us. Saranam, shelter. yet that which Isha, O Lord, Smritam, remembrance, Prayaschati, awarding, Abhayam, courage, Swapumsam, of the devotee. O Lord, you assume incarnation for the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, and therefore we all take shelter of your lotus feet because they always award remembrance and courage to your devotee. Report by Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. For the creation, maintenance, and dissolution of the cosmic manifestation, there are three incarnations: Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwar, Lord Shiva. They are the controllers or masters of the three modes of material nature, which cause the phenomenal manifestation. Vishnu is the master of the mode of goodness, Brahma is the master of the mode of passion, and Maheshwar is the master of the mode of ignorance. There are different kinds of devotees according to the modes of nature. First one is the mode of goodness, worship Lord Vishnu. Those in the mode of passion worship Lord Brahma, and those in the mode of ignorance worship Lord Shiva. All three of these deities are incarnation of the Supreme Lord Krishna because he is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. The demigod directly referred to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and not to a different incarnation. The incarnation of Vishnu in the material world is, however, directly worshipped by the demigod. It is learned from various scriptures that the demigod approached Lord Vishnu in the ocean of milk and submit their grievance whenever there is some difficulty in the administration of universal affairs. Although they are incarnation of the Lord, Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva worship Lord Vishnu, and thus they are all counted among the demigods and not as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Persons who worship Lord Vishnu are called demigods, and persons who do not do so are called asura or demon. Vishnu always takes the part of the demigod, but Brahma and Shiva sometimes take the side of the demon. It is not that they become one in interest with them, but sometimes they do something in order to gain control over the demon. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmalitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadhamayam Tadati Swapadam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutaparakam Sri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Sri Guru Vajatam Sadanamita Sivashakamadam Cha Jakapatavibhyo Chakipasindhibhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavaniyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Visavada Sindhiri Krishna Dakasami Tinari Mahashivada Krishna Visavada Sindhiri Krishna Tinari Visavada Sakti Gauravani Pachani Sisa Srinyavadi Pachacha Visatadini Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we're continuing our reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in the last previous verse that I heard, the devotee has really explained very nicely about the process of creation, about the 23 elements, earth, water, fire, air, ether, the 10 senses, the 10 acquiring knowledge, acquiring senses, and the 3 false ego, ahankar, about intelligent, about the subtle body. So the devotees are really nice to explain, like Achana Bhakti, and yesterday Madhuri Gaurangi, and in this text 43, we're talking about the incarnation of the Lord. The Lord has unlimited incarnation, and the different name for different incarnation. And the one we are talking today, anybody know what kind of incarnation was it? We have Purusa. We already talked about Purusa avatar. And now today we are talking about the
Leela avatars.
Guna avatar.
Guna.
The Guna avatar are Brahma, Shiva, and Vishnu. So these three predominating deities, they're in charge of various of the three modes of material natures. And as is explained in the purport, Lord Vishnu is in charge of maintenance, the mode of goodness. Lord Brahma is in charge of the mode of passion, and Lord Shiva is in the mode of ignorance. So in order for creation to go on, this three mode are very important, because in this everything happened due to the mode of material nature. Everything take place in order to to create. People need some passion. That's why people usually who are in the passion, they're the one who's the managers, and the one the one who ruler is the king. Usually the Kshatriya are mostly in the mode of passion, because it needs this passion, to rule and maintenance. Usually people who can keep things going on, they're always in the mode of goodness, like maintaining whatever creation is very, people can create things very passionately, but to maintain that take a lot of of cool. You have to be cool, very cool-minded, and you really have to be in the mode of goodness so that you can maintain things as they are. Usually, the Brahminical culture, the Brahmanas, they are the one who are in the mode of goodness, because they can control things very calmly. And those in the passion, they want to create, they want to maintain. Maintenance is more difficult than creation. Also, those and devastation, Lord Shiva, he's put in charge of, to destroy. At the end of every creation, there is a devastation. So devastation, and then after devastation, there's a long thing about the kalpa. Like one day of Brahma is equal to 1,000 years, according to the calculation of this material world. So for every, after every creation, there's dissolution. And who is in charge of the dissolution is Lord Shiva. So also Srila Prabhupada said, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they're put in charge of creation and dissolution. They're not the Supreme Lord. Only Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like in Bhagavad Gita, it's also said, like there's so many managers. There's so many managers, and the demigods, they're put in charge of various affairs in the administration of creation. So, and nobody is equal to Krishna, because Krishna, it is Ite Chamsa Kalo Pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead among all the incarnation of the Lord. He's the Supreme. He's the original personality of Godhead. And I said of the creation, it is said that, everything was vacant. There was nobody. Then Lord Krishna, as a Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu, and the lotus sprouted from his navel. Then Lord Brahma was created. Brahma, he doesn't know what to do, so he has to undergo like thousands of years of meditation, of tapasya, or austerity, in order to create this material world. So, and even Lord Shiva, he always meditating on Lord Krishna, because everything is emanating from Krishna. Like Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Bhata Sarvam Bhavatati. Nothing exists without Lord Krishna. And Krishna also, he didn't say that we have to worship Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and different demigods. He says, Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja. He said, Mam Ekam, exclusively. He wants exclusive. Just worship him only. Like Prabhupada gives example, like all the demigods, they're representative of Krishna. Say Narayana, and in Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Lord Krishna appeared in every millennium, in various incarnations. And why Krishna appeared? It appeared, to annihilate the demon. Then also, previously it is said, in the administration of the universe, there are many demigods distributed throughout the planetary system. The chief is Brahma, Shiva, and the four Kumaras. So first, Lord Brahma was created. Then from Brahma, from Krishna's forehead, then Lord Shiva was created, and the four Kumaras were created. So we have so many, four forces in the population of the universe, and all of them are born from the Supreme Lord Krishna. So the Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, is the original forefather of all the four forces. So he's in charge of everyone. So nobody is above him. This is called the appearance of the Supreme Lord. Actually, it is only, when one is firmly convinced of them, then one accepts Krishna with great faith, and they take shelter, like in the verse they say, even the demigods, they take shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna, because Krishna is the ultimate goal, and nobody is above Krishna. And those who has faith, like yesterday we were talking about faith, about eagerness, we have to hear about Krishna with faith and eagerness. And Prabhupada, translates Shraddha, like faith as eagerness, with so much eagerness, so that engage in the devotional service, one have to be fully convinced, like that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is when one started to render devotional service of Krishna. So all of us on this path of devotional service, somehow also, we are a little bit convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's why, after taking to Krishna consciousness, we don't, even as coming from a Hindu background, we are used to worship so many demigods like Hanis, Lord Shiva, like Lord Durga and everybody. And now, after reading Srila Prabhupada books, we have convinced that Krishna, by worshiping Krishna, all the demigods are pleased. That means we have some kind of faith. Maybe it's not 100%, but we are convinced that just by worshiping Krishna, we're doing the best thing we can, because Krishna, he recommended it, that this Sarva Dharma Parityajya Mam Ekam Saranam Vraja. We take shelter only of him. Then he will free us from all kind of sinful activities. And also it said, Janma karma cha me divyam yo me veti tapata chakvadi arpana. 90 Mamsu Arjuna. Those who know my transcendental activities, Janma karma activities, my transcendental birth, doesn't, upon leaving this body, take birth again in this material world. So we are very fortunate, to have come across Srila Prabhupada, who wants also to exclusively just worship Krishna. And in Bhagavad Gita also, Prabhupada said, those who worship the demigod, in some purport, he said, those who worship the demigods are less intelligent because they don't understand the position of Krishna. They think just by, we have to approach the demigod first in order for us, in order to make spiritual advancement. But Krishna said, no, but if Prabhupada said, why we don't worship like people in general, the Karma Kanda, when they do any kind of worship, they worship Ganesh first, for auspiciousness. But because we come from Guru Parampara, we worship our Guru first. And because our Guru worship his Guru, and we come from all the, disciplic succession that connects it directly to Krishna. We don't need to worship any demigods. And Prabhupada also says that doesn't mean we don't have to respect. We don't have to respect the demigod. The demigods are great personalities, And Lord Shiva, is Vaishnava, is the topmost Vaishnava. We always have to offer respect. Even Lord Chaitanya, when he was visiting South India, there were so many Shiva temples. He will go and offer respect. So, so for fanatic devotees, when they say demigod, when they see somebody with respect to demigod, especially neophyte devotees, they think, okay, we don't need to do that. I have seen that. I have witnessed that. One time, we used to, on Sivatri, I think that because of the Indian community, we, after all the Sunday program, so we have one devotees, we have a shivling, we just pour water on that. And some of the fanatic devotees, they just walk out of the temple, So there's no harm, like if you go to a temple of Lord Shiva, like recently I visited Mauritius. Mauritius are very well known, or having so many Shivalai. They call it Shivalai. So everywhere there's this temple of Lord Shiva. So we visited one temple where I was living there. But in the same, there's so many, the Radha Krishna, the Hindu temple, there are Radha Krishna, there are Lakshmi Narayan. But at this temple that I visited, then there was a Jagannath, maybe 100 years old. And that was discovered by the ISKCON devotees. There were Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And they were all painting the same color. I think many years ago, some devotee were just visiting the Sivalaya, because there's always some kind of program going on, and devotee are invited. And they discovered that there was Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra. And the devotees, they were so excited because in Mauritius, there's hardly any temple of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. And they immediately talked to the management of the temple, and and they repainted Jagannath, and now the Jagannath is being worshipped in a separate, in the same, compound where Lord Shiva's temple are, but there's a different room. Jagannath is being worshipped. So when we went to visit that, we went and visit and then offer obeisances to all the demigods, and where my parents live there, we have like another temple there that called the Durga Ma temple, with a different name. So I went and visited because it was so close, and I offer obeisances because they all are very exalted personalities, and they're a great servant of the Lord. But in our day-to-day worship, like we should not just think that we have to worship Lord Shiva, Lord Ganesh, and everything. And another instance, Prabhupada said, even the demigods sometimes they will approach Krishna, when they're in trouble. And when the beginning of Krishna book, we know that Bhumi was very much aggrieved because there were so many demons, they were creating so much trouble. So all the demigods, they approached Lord Brahma, and even Lord Brahma, he doesn't know what to do. And they all went to the ocean of milk and started praying to Lord Vishnu to appear and help them to destroy these demons, because they themselves, they cannot, they cannot, they don't have the power, to take care of the demoniac activities was going on in Mathura. So Lord Krishna appeared, the incarnation of Krishna. So similarly, one time there was a great fight between the demigod and Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj became so strong, and the demigods, they were all afraid, and they went and approached Lord Vishnu to protect them. So there are many instances, like the demigods, sometimes they give powers to the demon also. There was one, the demons with 100 hands. What is it called in Krishna book?
Banashur.
Banashur, yeah, Banashur. Thank you. Yeah. Then I think Lord Shiva awarded him the benediction to have hundreds of hands. Then after having hundreds of hands, he wanted to fight. Then he wanted to fight with Lord Shiva himself. Then Lord Shiva, he had to approach Lord Vishnu to help him. Then all his hand was chopped. Then he was defeated. Similarly, there was Vatsasur. Also, there was another demon whose Lord Shiva gave benediction. And whoever's head you touch, the person will be destroyed. And the demon becomes so perfect, he wanted to try it on Lord Shiva only. Then Lord Shiva has to approach Lord Vishnu to help. Then Lord Vishnu came, disguised a Brahmana, and asked the demon and deceived the demon and told him, why don't you try it and see whether Lord Shiva has given you the right benediction or not. In this way, the demon was defeated also. So in so many instances, the demigod, they always approach Lord Vishnu for help. So that proves that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and nobody is equal to him. And also in the Krishna said, I'm the source of all spiritual material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Also, it is said in the Vedas, also the Upanishad, it said that Narayana Brahma Jayati. I'm just reading from Bhagavad Gita. And the verse, text 8. It said, the Upanishad continue. He said, what is it? All Vedic literature agrees that Krishna is the source of Brahma, Shiva, and all demigods. In Atharva Veda, Tapani Upanishad, it is said that Yo Brahmanam Vadati Purvam Ya Vedam Cha Gopayanti Sma Krishna. It was Krishna who is in the beginning instructed Lord Brahma in Vedic knowledge, and who disseminated Vedic knowledge in the past. Then again, the Narayan Upanishad says, so all the revealed scripture they're proving that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and there's nobody equal to him. Then again, in Narayana Upanishad 1 says, Ata Purusu Havai Narayano Kamayata Praja Shriyati. Then the Supreme Personality of Godhead desired to create living entities. From Narayan, Brahma is born, and from Narayan, the patriarchs are also born. From Narayan, Indra is born. From Narayan, the 8 Vasus are born. From Narayan, the 11 Rudra are born. From Narayan, the 12 Adityas are born. This is Narayan is an expansion of Krishna. Also, is continued. It is said the same Veda, Brahmanyo Devaki Putra, the son of Devaki Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then it is said, in the beginning of creation, there was only the Supreme Personality Narayan. There was no Brahma, no Shiva, no water, no fire, no moon, no heaven and earth, and no stars in the sky, no sun. It is also said that Lord Shiva was born from the forehead of the Supreme Lord. Thus the Vedas say that it is the Supreme Lord, the creator of Brahma and Shiva, who is to be worshipped. And it's very interesting purport, you know. It says the patriarch means the Prajapati. Shiva and others are created by me, though they do not know that they are created by me because they are deluded by my illusory energy. So what does that mean? That sometime, Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma, in the case of for Lord Brahma, he couldn't understand. Then little Krishna appeared, and he stole all the story of, he stole all the coward boys and the cows and hides them. And he wanted to test whether Krishna is really the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then Krishna expanded himself into all the coward boys and the cows. I think about a year. Then Lord Brahma got bewildered to see, I just hide all the boys and the cow. Where are these coming? But actually, all Krishna expanded exactly as these coward boys and the cows, and went back to Vrindavan. And there, everybody, they were always in delusion. They didn't know that the Krishna himself expanded, and they all were feeling so much love for the cows and for Krishna. The resident of Vrindavan, all the parents in Vrindavan, and the cows also were feeling so much love, and they were thinking why they're feeling so happy, but they all get the opportunity, to serve Krishna in that way. Then after some time, then Krishna expanded himself into so many four-armed form, each and every coward voice. Then Lord Brahma understood that Krishna is not an ordinary child, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So sometimes, they got into illusion, like it is said there. They got into illusion and they cannot understand who Krishna is, who really Krishna is. Also, it is said Narayan again is the expansion of Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and from him Brahma was born, from whom Shiva was born. Lord Krishna is the source of all generation and is called the most efficient cause of everything. He says, because everything is born of me, I'm the original source of everything. Everything is under me, and no one is above me. There's no supreme controller other than Krishna. One who understood Krishna in such a way from a bona fide spiritual master with a reference from Vedic literatures engaged all these energies in Krishna consciousness and become a truly learned man. In comparison to him, all others who do not know Krishna properly are but fools. only a fool would consider Krishna to be an ordinary man. A Krishna conscious person should not be bewildered by fool. He should avoid all unauthorized commentaries and interpretation of Bhagavad Gita and proceed in Krishna consciousness with determination and firmness. So one thing that we learn from this purport is that we have to be fully convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the only one who can give us shelter. So, what does shelter mean actually? Actually, and in the translation, it is said that by taking shelter of Krishna, we get courage. We get determination and courage. We feel happy by taking shelter of Krishna, because Krishna only can give us shelter from all the fear, all the pangs of matter, all the miseries of this material world. So everybody somehow or other will experience some kind of misery and fear, and whom do we have to take shelter? Those who are in Krishna consciousness, who got this knowledge from Srila Prabhupada books, we always take shelter of Krishna. Somehow or other, in any circumstances, we have to exclusively, pray to Krishna. Only Krishna can save us from all kind of miseries. And that's why it is said, like all the pure devotees, Krishna said that all the devotees are always thinking on him, and they're completely devoted in his service, and in that way they derive satisfaction, great satisfaction, bliss. In this way also they enlighten each other. There's a famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, Machita mat kata prana bodhayanti parasparam katayantas chamam nitya tushanti ta ramanti cha. If we want to become happy, become very satisfied, and always be in bliss, so we always have to think of Krishna. And Krishna recommended man mana bhava mad bhakti mad yaji mam namaskuru. Krishna, say, man mana. He say, engage your mind and always thinking, become my devotee. Krishna requested it. So, so how do we practice that in our day-to-day life? It is very easily said, like always, than done. But if we have little bit conviction, little bit faith, and the Shraddha, little bit faith that Krishna will protect me, we will always like surrender to Krishna. I'm sure actually a pure devotee, they don't ask anything for Krishna. Anya bilasa sunyam. They accept whatever Krishna gives them. But since we are not all pure devotees, we always have to take, we always have, if we need protection from anything, the first person to approach is Krishna. Is Krishna. Because all the acharyas and all Srila Prabhupada said, only Krishna can save us from this material misery. Like it said in Kali Yuga, like he said, Kalo dose nide rajan esteko mahanguna. Chaitanya Deva Krishna Mukta Sangha Param Braje. This material is an ocean of fault. But there's one way we can be free from that is by by chanting the holy name of the Lord. That's the only way we can be protected from this ocean of fault, ocean of miseries. So we are on the right path. We just have to pray to Krishna, take shelter of Krishna, like it said, every day in our daily life, so that one day, like we can cross over this material suffering of this world. I don't think anybody likes this material world. Only if you're under completely in the mode of ignorance and the illusion, then we think we can get happiness in this world. But there's those who are learned, who has some realized knowledge, like Vigyan yesterday they were talking, some realized knowledge that, only by hearing, like yesterday was talking about hearing about Krishna. Then by hearing of Krishna, then we become detached, then we develop some faith in Krishna. And after developing some faith, then detachment automatically, from this material world automatically happen. We don't have to have separate endeavor to be detached from this world. Just by adopting the process of devotional service, Shavanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, we can become detached, from this material world, and we can fully take shelter of Krishna. So also, and um, and how do we develop, and sometimes we said, okay, we've been trying so hard, even if it's very hard, because we have to put ourselves in a situation where we're not influenced by the mode of nature. The mode of nature with already the mode of passion and ignorance with always, is not conducive for our spiritual life. If we really want to chant in the holy name and be connected to Krishna, we have at least, Prabhupada says, to be put in the mode of goodness, be situated in the mode of goodness. In the mode of goodness, usually people, they got more enthusiasm. They're very, they get more enthusiasm to practice devotional life. So somehow also, like we have, Prabhupada says there's so many different kinds in the purport only. He says there are different kind of devotees. Some of the mode of passions and the mode of ignorance and the mode of goodness. So as we Vaishnava, we have to somehow also situate ourselves in the mode of goodness in order to practice devotional service. So that's why we avoid so many unwanted things, like we follow the four regulative principle. And now when we wake up, we don't, we take a bath, and we start chanting the holy name of the Lord, and we do artis, and we worship the deities, and we do different kind of devotional service that will situate ourselves in the mode of goodness. So, in order to chant nicely also, you have to, train your consciousness. If you just wake up and don't take a bath and just start, it's very difficult, because then you're like, let me go and sleep again, So after taking a bath and start chanting, then you feel very fresh, very pure in your mind. So somehow other, and what kind of food we eat. So that's why we don't eat food in the mode of passion, and so many people say why we don't eat onion and garlics and all kind of, because they said onion and garlic, what's wrong? We're not killing anybody. Then Prabhupada said onion and garlic, all this stuff, then the mode of passion and ignorance. That's why we don't eat onion and garlics, and we prepare, prasadam in the mode of goodness of everything that in the mode of goodness, like fruits, vegetable, milk, and and the food should not be too salty. There's a whole list of what kind of food in the mode of goodness, what kind of food in the mode of passion, what kind of food in the mode of ignorance. You see, and if anybody interested, they can just read, the chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the mode of material nature. It tells you how the mode of material nature, the free mode, affect our consciousness, and what kind of food we eat, what kind of association we put ourselves in, and what kind of books we read. So somehow or other, as devotees, we should always try to be in association of devotees and always try to read the scripture, always chanting the holy name, always, eat food in the mode of goodness that is offered to Krishna. So in this way, we can be situated in the mode of goodness, and that will be very easy for us to practice devotional service to Krishna. So it's a work in progress. Like it's not happening immediately, but by associating with devotees who are already practicing this, then we got a little bit inspiration from them. Then we can practice devotional service in the mode of goodness. The Srila Prabhupada has set up a very nice standard for us. As soon as devotees wake up, they should just take a shower, and first of all, instead of listening to all kind of music, we just start doing Mangalati and chant the holy name of the Lord, chant the prayers to the Guru, like we chant the Guru Astakam every morning, and we chant Hare Krishna, and we pick up our beads and chant and start chanting our round. At least they said, Prabhupada, I heard that they said sometimes devotees, people, especially in household life, they're very busy. They have a job, they have children. It's very difficult just to wake up and start doing all this stuff, like temple devotees do. But at least something we have to start. Like maybe we don't have the time to chant 16 rounds. So like a busy mother, a person who's very busy, have to go to work, have to cook for his family. It's not very easy. But how to situate ourselves in the mood, at least we just wake up, take a bath, and start chanting. At least we start chanting the holy name of the Lord, like 4 rounds. We can divide, we cannot chant 16 rounds in the morning, so we can chant 4 rounds in the morning, at 4 rounds about midday, 4 rounds in the afternoon, in 4 in the evening, so that like that we can finish our 16 round, at least, and throughout the day also, we have to, like listening to music whenever we have opportunity. Suppose we are driving and going to work, instead of listening to the news and all, just listen to some kirtan or some lecture. Like this, we train our consciousness to stay in the mode of goodness. And in this way, we can always think of Krishna. And we can always, we in this way also, we're taking shelter of Krishna. Like we don't have to give up anything to think of Krishna in whatever situation we are. And if we want, we can always think of Krishna. Even in the office, in your office, sometimes we have some spare time. In that way, in your mind, you can chant the holy name of the Lord. Or you can just sometimes, during your break time, you can just have something on your phone. You can just read one verse from Bhagavad Gita, and something that somehow or other make you think of Krishna all the time. So that's the goal of our Krishna consciousness movement. That was the Krishna consciousness. I mean, our consciousness should be always remembering Krishna. It should always be that. In this way, we can always 24 hours think of Krishna. How, it's not easy. Like say, Prabhupada say we should 24 hours think about Krishna. So it's not easy. So somehow all the Krishna, know you understand, Krishna is as Paramatma in our heart. He knows what we are thinking, what we're doing. If, like you say, Tesam Satatam Yuktam, Bhatiti Priti Purvakam. To those who constantly devoted to me, with love, I give understanding by which they can come to me. So that's what we have to cultivate, cultivate in serving Krishna with love. And Krishna will give us understanding how to come, how to serve him. At 8:45, in this note, it said that Prabhupada explained, why we have to take shelter of Krishna. I'll just read a little bit. So we should take shelter of Krishna, mam eva prapanjati. Mam eva ye prapadyante. Anyone who takes shelter unto me is out of danger. Is at once, why not do this? It is very difficult, no. Then why the person do not take shelter? Easy thing. A certain child is going to surrender unto the care of his father. It is so simple. Saying, why? Because people are, I mean to say, challenging even the existence of God. This is one of the purport, like one excerpt I reading. I think this is from Bhagavad Gita 7:11 purport that Prabhupada talking about taking shelter. Also in Bhagavatam also say, why this thing happens? That means the ultimate control is in the hand of Krishna. So why not take shelter of Krishna? This is the idea. You take shelter of Krishna, and if Krishna like, he will give you protection. So in a room conversation, Prabhupada was talking with free college student. Prabhupada said, therefore, you are taking the shelter of logic. You are taking the shelter of logic. But, Prabhupada said, you should take shelter of Krishna, not only of logic. Okay, I say, so we have manufactured so many, I mean to say, shelter to take shelter of. Just like parent, a child is taking shelter of parents. A diseased person is taking shelter of a physician. A drowning man is taking shelter of a boat. So Prahlad Maharaj say, all these shelters are actually not shelter. The shelter is your lordship. If you neglect somebody, these shelters will not act. So that's a very thing, like that's true, like we all looking for happiness, for shelter, for protection from everywhere. But like Prahlad Maharaj said, we should take shelter only of Krishna. And also Prabhupada also talked in Bhagavad Gita 9:18 purport. Especially in these days, however educated I may be, with an application, I take shelter of a big man. So I am taking saranam. I am flattering. I'm taking shelter in every moment. Why not God? Why do you say Swamiji about God? So they will take shelter with dog, but not God. You see? Prabhupada is very bold. That's true. Like people, a lot of people having dogs, like in my neighborhood, like so many people have the dogs, and it's not bad to have a dog, but at the same time, you know, dog, if you see the dog, has part and parcel of Krishna. But if you see dog, that's the only one will give me satisfaction, that is not good. That's why I say taking shelter of dog, but not God. Prabhupada say, why should you take in the lecture, he said, why should you take shelter of your father? Why the children, small children, always seeking the help of the father and the mother? Why? A small child, as soon as in some difficulty, immediately cry, father and mother, why? So similarly, like Prabhupada, why he was telling, so because they are helpless and need their father. Because we are helpless and need their father. Therefore, because you are helpless, you must seek God. You are helpless. Always you are helpless. That is knowledge. Yeah, we all taking shelter of so many things, and Prabhupada said we all helpless. So that the knowledge, that's why if we got the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and everything, then we will take shelter of Krishna. You see, that is knowledge. One should understand that in spite of all advancement of so-called material knowledge, we are helpless in every respect. Just like in the country, you have got Very good arrangement for education. There is no scarcity of anything. Why a section of people are turning to hippies and considering helpless and confused? Then Prabhupada is said, why? What is what is the want they are feeling? What is the answer? Your country is not poverty-stricken country, rich country. You have got all resources. You have good, nice parents, nice government, nice food supply. Why younger section are turning to be hippies? What is the answer? They are not satisfied. So it's a dissatisfaction, yes. So unless you see God, unless you understand God, in spite of your all material advancement, you will feel vacant. Therefore, you should seek God. Everyone in the material world working very hard for some profit, some material profit. But one profit he gained, he hankers after another profit, another profit. In this way, the hankering make progress. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita, it says that when we get profit, Krishna, it is said that when you get profit, Krishna, then you will not hanker after all, you feel satisfaction. Yeah. Budayanti parasparam Dushanti cha ramanti cha. Like we talked, the only we will be satisfied only when we serve Krishna, when we take shelter of Krishna. So Prabhupada, again and again, he is telling us that we should always take shelter of Krishna. So there's a lot of, and like the Prabhupada said, always, like Lord Kapila Dev also said that his mother Devavati, that you should take shelter of Krishna because Krishna is the supreme controller. So anybody has any comment or any correction?
Anybody has any reflections, any comments, questions, please just unmute yourself and go ahead. I just wanted to say that for those of us who have come from the Indian background, it has been a turnaround because we were raised in that atmosphere of praying to everybody. And it took some time, but like you said, because of Prabhupada's mercy and his books, we've been lucky enough to be put back on that path. And again, that point also that considering Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not mean we don't respect. It's just that we don't rely on them. And the other biggest thing is, as having taken birth as a human being, the purpose of our life is to understand that we are not this body and that we should go back to Godhead. If that supreme goal is not what we are seeking, then we will tend to run to everybody else to get those karmic blessings, karmic gifts. I want a house, I want a car, I want a husband, I want a wife. But we have to understand that what we should be actually wanting is to become the Lord's devotee, that we should, our goal should be to learn to love Him.
Yeah, very nicely said. Yeah, our goal is to just love Krishna, because no matter what we do in this material world, like Prabhupada will say again and again, we will not be happy, we will not feel satisfaction, and everybody want to be happy. But sometimes people think they're happy here and they don't need Krishna. That means they're in illusions, there's a mode of ignorance. Even they say this is life, we have only one life I heard that many times, like they say only one life to live. So let's enjoy here, Even in this enjoyment, there's so much suffering, they ignore the suffering and say, oh, one life, like let's enjoy life. That means they didn't get the mercy of Krishna, to realize that this material world is not the perfect place for gentlemen, for people who is learned, So it's very, very difficult because, people are always under the mode of material nature. And Krishna said, we can get out of this mode of my devi sakuna mai mama maya durataya mameva ye prapanchati mayam itam tarantite. Everybody is under the devi, the free mode of nature. But those who take shelter of me, mameva ye prapanchati, they can easily cross, the free modes of material nature, easily overcome the free modes of material nature. And say Prabhupada also said, saying that if I'm so much susceptible to contamination of Maya, the mode of material nature, then I waste my time in material advancement of life. And it is very risky, like we are just, like you said, when you're using this human form of our life, to realize Krishna, then we go into the circle of birth and death, And devotees, like Prahlad Maharaj and great devotees, they don't waste the time, whatever opportunity they got, they just say, okay, let me think of Krishna. And they don't want to put off Krishna consciousness. From very early age, there's no waste of time. The Prabhupada said also, also said, like we have to teach our children from early age about Krishna consciousness, because we should not think that he's a little, he's too young for Krishna consciousness. Because he was talking in context of Prahlad Maharaj, how from early age he took Krishna consciousness. Kumara Macharit Prajno Dharman Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam 761. It's a new waste of time. And Prabhupada gives example how we open, Dallas, the Gurukul in Dallas. That immediately from very beginning of life, let them understand Krishna consciousness. Thank you.
Any other hands up?
Huh?
I don't see any other hands up, so we can end the class here.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji, for nice class. Thank you. Your class is always Krishna-centric. I feel that. Thank you, Krishna.
Yeah, Krishna is a saint. Because that I'm just following what Prabhupada. If you read Prabhupada purpose, how many times, like we were talking to one devotee yesterday who said, in all our class we have to mention Krishna, because Krishna is that word we have been taught by Srila Prabhupada. That's what we learned by our acharyas, to talk only about Krishna. Krishna should be the center of everything. We can talk about so many different subject matters, but the main goal is to be Krishna conscious, to always, just by taking the name of Krishna, somehow all the knowingly and unknowingly, we're all making spiritual advancement. Thank you very much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Mataji. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya Patyanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna.